very good Monday evening to you. I'm Fox54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Dressman. Off to DeKalb County we go. Beautiful evening over in DeKalb County. A few fair weather cumulus clouds, but otherwise we are rain-free this evening. Plenty of blue sky, though that blue sky has that noticeable pale hue to it. And Emily and I were talking about this during Fox54 News at 5:30. It's just kind of one of those views where you can just tell that it's hot. You know, there's kind of a difference in the sky between the summer and the winter. During the winter, you have that really pretty deep blue sky that really makes everything just look really nice, even though it's winter and there's no greenery or anything like that. But then you get to the summer and you don't really have that really nice deep blue anymore. It's kind of traded off for that hazy look. Now, whether it's hazy or not, it still has that hazy look, and it's really just kind of that paler blue, and it just seems to look hot, in my opinion. Got a couple of other views for you here from the top of Montesano. This is always one of the nicer views. Always really like this one. 90 degrees right now from the top of Montesano. Dew points exactly where you would expect them this time of year, right around 72 degrees. Plenty of greenery there on top of the mountain. Some more cloud cover if you look from the top of the mountain as well. Over North Memorial Parkway, this is looking northbound on Memorial Parkway. A little bit of traffic this evening. Again, a mix of sunshine and cloud cover. No rain falling from the clouds. That's definitely a little bit of good news. We'll talk about the rain here in just a little bit. Temperatures were seasonal for this time of year. Almost everybody climbed into the lower 90s this afternoon, with the exception of our friends in Coleman. They saw a high temperature this afternoon of 88 degrees. Our friends over in Fort Payne saw 90. Scottsboro saw 90. 91 was a very popular number across the heart of the Tennessee Valley. Pulaski, Fayetteville, Athens, Decatur, and then the Huntsville International Airport all clocked highs this afternoon of 91 degrees. And in all actuality, I think that Huntsville number is underdone by a couple of degrees. The data will probably update here over the next couple of hours. I want to say the Huntsville International Airport saw a high temperature this afternoon, right around 93 or 94. We saw a high temperature of 95 this afternoon over in Florence. Again, these numbers just at or just above where we should be this time of year. Very stereotypical as far as July weather is concerned. 90 feels like 96 right now in Huntsville. 84 feels like 94 in Coleman. 87 feels like 94 in Russellville. 88 feels like 94 in Fayetteville, up across southern Middle Tennessee. Again, nothing too terribly out of the ordinary here. It's everything you would expect as we head into the middle and later part of July. A quiet night, temperatures dropping into the low and mid 70s. I've got a low temperature right around 72 degrees. Would not be the least bit surprised if somebody only drops as low as 74 or 75 degrees, which is another aspect of weather this time of year, right? We get really, really warm through the middle part of the afternoon, but then we typically don't get a lot of relief in the middle of the night. Temperatures only drop into the mid 70s, and we're still humid across the Tennessee Valley, so it's still incredibly warm overnight. I think a little bit of patchy dense fog is liable to develop across the Tennessee Valley. If you have any yard work that needs to get done tomorrow and you have the opportunity to do it tomorrow, I would suggest doing it tomorrow morning. Now, I understand a lot of us work and may not necessarily have the opportunity to do it in the morning. If you can't do it in the morning, then maybe do it in the evening. I made the mistake over the weekend of mowing my lawn literally in the middle of the day on Sunday. As a matter of fact, immediately following this, I'm going to talk about my lawn right here on Fox 54 Plus. I hope you'll stick around and watch it. It's only about 5 minutes long. Now, I, like a lot of you, have Bermuda grass, and Bermuda grass tends to be problematic in the summer, we'll say. But I am going to talk about that for a couple of minutes right after this weather forecast right here on Fox 54 Plus. I hope you'll stick around and watch that. 90 degrees by 11 o'clock in the morning, 93 by 2 p.m., and it looks like that's where many of us are going to end up finishing the day, somewhere in the low and mid 90s. Then we head into your Wednesday, much the same across the Tennessee Valley. It's going to be a very repetitive process this week. Temperatures are going to remain somewhat stagnant, where temperatures are going to climb into the low and mid 90s. And then we're also going to maintain opportunities for rain. We'll talk about that in just a second. We also stick with the humidity. The humidity is going to remain, dew points are going to be in the very humid category, anywhere between 70 and 75 degrees. That means heat indices are going to begin to creep up. I think this week we'll be talking about heat indices as high as right around 105 degrees, though at times wouldn't be the least bit surprised if we saw heat indices creeping to 106 or 107. Forecasted above average temperatures as we head into the later part of July. This gets us through around July 24th, about a 60 to 70% chance that we're talking about above average temperatures. And again, that's okay. You kind of expect it. for this time of year, right? Rainfall totals over the last 24 hours. I just kind of wanted to hit on this because of the showers and thunderstorms that we saw move through the Tennessee Valley during the later part of the afternoon, early into the evening yesterday. Now, some of us picked up on a significant amount of rain. Now, some of us saw absolutely nothing. If you're west of the I-65 corridor, you have seen almost no rain over the last 24 hours. But if you're east of the I-65 corridor, it's a bit of a different story. The Huntsville International Airport picked up 89/100ths of an inch. Our friends in Arab, 1.33 inches of rain. These are rainfall totals over the last 24 hours. Really, the vast majority of this rain that fell yesterday evening fell over the course of about 30 or 45 minutes. I think over that time period, I think my house got right around 1.25 to 1.5 inches of rain, which I was incredibly thankful for because it means I didn't have to run the sprinklers yesterday. Radar this evening, still picking up on just a couple of light showers over in northeast Alabama, south of Fort Payne. We're talking about just a couple of light showers there south of the Huntsville metro area, maybe even back into Jackson County. We're talking about just a couple of light showers. And this activity is going to remain possible for the next couple of hours, but then it's going to begin to fizzle out and kind of fizzle away into nothing. Here's Futurecast. By the time we get to the lunch hour on Tuesday, isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms attempting to push their way into northwest Alabama, and that activity is certainly going to be possible as we head into Tuesday afternoon and then eventually as we head into Tuesday evening. That activity clears out of here. We lose a lot of the cloud cover through the overnight and then early into your Wednesday morning. Doesn't really look like we're going to have any problems for the Wednesday morning commute. But then we get to Wednesday afternoon, and once again, the story remains the same. Isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to develop across the Tennessee Valley, and that activity will stick with us through the later part of the afternoon, early into the evening. Whatever rain we do get isn't really necessarily rain we need. We have no drought problems across the Tennessee Valley, and that's good news because eventually we are going to get into August and September where typically we don't get a lot of rain across the Tennessee Valley, so it's good that we're talking about a bit of a surplus. And by a surplus, I mean Moulton has seen 212% of what would be considered a normal amount of rain over a 30-day period. Huntsville has seen 145% of what would be considered a normal amount of rain over a 30-day period. And then our friends in Fort Payne have seen 116% of what would be considered a normal amount of rain over a 30-day period. Now, what does that mean? Well, if a normal amount of rain is 2.5 inches, well, then they've picked up 2.5 inches plus another 16%. So we're talking about a surplus across the Tennessee Valley. This looks somewhat intimidating. There's scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast every single day through the weekend, and then even as we head into the early part of next week. But it's your typical summertime weather pattern. There's really nothing to be intimidated by. Odds are better than not. Your specific house probably going to end up staying dry, but you should also understand that isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast. Just simply keep the umbrella as an accessory. I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to need it, but keep it as an accessory. Off to the tropics we go, just out into the Atlantic Ocean off the east coast of Florida. There is an area of low pressure, showers and thunderstorms associated with that area of low pressure. Much of the Florida Peninsula talking about those showers and thunderstorms. Now, this activity is going to continue to push its way into the Gulf. Now, when it gets into the Gulf, it could take on some more tropical characteristics. As a matter of fact, there's about a 30% chance of further development over the next week. Do I think that this is going to get any sort of a name? No, probably not. Is it going to have any impacts on us across the Tennessee Valley? No, probably not. But if you were planning to go to the beach this weekend, or if you know anybody that was going to go to the beach this weekend, yeah, it's not going to be a great weekend for that. Gulf Shores, back into the Florida Panhandle, showers and thunderstorms all weekend. Make sure to stay connected with me on social media. There's my Facebook, Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. There's my X/my Twitter if you'd like to follow that. Honestly, I don't post a lot on there. I don't know why. I just don't. And then if you'd like, you can follow my Instagram. I don't really post a lot of weather-related content on my Instagram, but you're more than free to give that a follow as well. But most of my content ends up getting posted on my Facebook, Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Have a good look at the next 7 days. I've said it once, twice, and a million times, and I'm going to say it a million more as we progress further into the